Well, let's bring in former Canadian diplomat Gordon Houldon. And Gordon, it seems Donald Trump was a bit caught off guard by this digital services tax that has been in place since last year, but the first payments are only due beginning on Monday. Was he caught off guard?
Well, I think if he was caught off guard, it was some poor staff work on part of the White House, because this has been in discussion with the United States for over a year. It's already been clear that the U.S. was unhappy, U.S. government that is. But I suspect that some of the firms most affected, the Googles and Metas and Amazons, got to the president, to the White House, with their complaints over the last few days. It may have been, or probably was, the first he had heard of it. So he was caught off guard, but the U.S. government was not caught off guard.
So why did Mark Carney go ahead with this, knowing what the reaction from Donald Trump was going to be? Was there a way for him to backtrack and say, we're not going to do this?
I think that dealing with Donald Trump is more an art than a science. The Canadian approach under Carney has been, we will, in private, negotiate with you, but we're not going to cave in public when you impose some tariff or some action towards us. I think the worry there is Trump will simply, with that, what I would argue, bully tactics, put that in his pocket, and then you're starting from a position of weakness. However, I would not be surprised to see this on the table in private. So the fact that Canada's going ahead with it on Monday, that the taxes will begin to be collected, does not mean that at some point over the next few days and weeks, it could be modified, delayed, or even withdrawn.
What I found interesting, Gordon, is that even businesses in Canada were pushing against this. The Business Council of Canada and Canadian Chamber of Commerce have been pushing the Canadian government not to go ahead with this.
Taxes are never popular with anyone who pays them, be they individuals, corporations, domestic or foreign. So certainly those in the Canadian digital world as well would not like to pay those taxes. However, those on the other side say that why should foreign companies, for example, that earn huge profits in Canada not pay some level of tax? So again, that back and forth has been settled with legislation, but I think that this is something that will be under close scrutiny and subject to negotiation and potential modification or withdrawal. But you're quite right. There's Canadian as well as foreign opposition.
And what about U.S. retaliation? Donald Trump has made no secret of it. He said he's going to retaliate. What kind of restrictions can we expect on Canadian goods with his retaliatory move, if you will?
My guess is, and this is simply a guess, because with Donald Trump, you never quite know what you're going to get in any given day. He has said that Canada will be notified along with other countries shortly on what overall tariff rate we will pay. And we will see. For China, it's 30%. For Canada, potentially unknown, but I suspect that as part of this tough negotiation and bluster even from Trump, we will see a higher than expected tariff rate indicated to us. But again, I think that's a waypost in a longer term negotiation. But yes, and Trump thinks he holds all the cards. I'm not sure that's true. But U.S. is in a powerful position vis-a-vis Canada. 80% of our exports go to the United States. This is the place that Canada wants to tack away from. Prime Minister Carney has said he would like to see us less dependent on the United States for trade going forward.
And how hard is it, Gordon, for businesses and companies in Canada to plan for any kind of future with all these on and off tariffs by Donald Trump?
For both Canadian and American firms, and I'd argue firms elsewhere in the world, it's exceptionally difficult. Firms like to have a window perhaps of 5 years of stability. If you're going to build a plant, you're going to want more than 5 years stability in order to invest billions of dollars in a factory. Even short-term planning, what labor force do you need, what production levels, it's a nightmare for planning. And this has, I think, a chilling effect on trade, even before tariffs are put into place, when there's uncertainty.
Yeah.
Business hates uncertainty.
You're absolutely right about that. Businesses and financial markets do not like it.
Yes.
Gordon, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Asieh.